This is like a whole new redesign. This is the first I've been on in 2 months.
Gallery. What does that do?
Wait, you're on Skype?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's all this, let's see. I still can't find the contacts. I called you back I accidentally hung up on you. Oh, there's contacts. Oh, it's way over here now. Oh, that's strange.
Nice.
Hey, what's Cortana have to do with this now? Cortana, hi there. While you're chatting with me and others, I can offer suggestions and ideas.
You got a helper now?
What is going on here?
I don't know if mine is updated as yours is.
I'm shocked that it didn't ask me for my password and tell me that, your password's incorrect. Please type in a new password.
I got lucky too. It just said sign in. I was like, yeah.
All right. That's the real reason why we haven't been recording is because we can't get into Skype.
Ever. It's just luck. Like, if it happens, it happens.
I have like 10 accounts out there. We create a new one every time we do a show. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is a little rough.
Your password can't be the same as your old password. Damn it.
Yeah, every single time. Is that you blowing up?
Yeah. Everybody's like, happy birthday to me.
You're like, oh, I didn't even
What's going on?
know.
Is Allison on the clock?
Yeah.
Why is she laughing then?
She's on the phone.
Can't be laughing and working.
She's talking to a distributor.
Sounds it.
You know how you had to do that.
I closed deals. That's what I did.
You're a deal closer.
Ernie called me in when he needed to close it out.
I don't really know how you did any of that. Like, I mean, there's nobody works like that. Ever since we've been doing business with any distributor or dealer, you don't just there's no deals.
There's no deals?
No, it's just you call, you can talk. It's not like you can just convince somebody from ordering, 100 of something to 500 or something. There's just no convincing.
And there's no hobby show anymore where you go and, make these big deals, because Chicago show was that was where, that was a big deal.
Yeah, what's kind of interesting is we did that. We went to Illinois for that that Horizon show, and it brings back so many show memories.
Yeah, where was that? Exactly. Was it
Champaign, Illinois, which is the town that Horizon's in.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't near Rosemont.
No, it was in.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember the old days of meeting up with the Trinity booth, and then Horizon, there would be a meeting Gotti, I have a meeting with Horizon at 1:00. Get out of here.
It is.
Yeah. Don't embarrass us, Gotti. Leave. Go over to the Low-C booth. Bug Jack Johnson. Tell him his game sucks.
It's true.
He's like, so what do you think of this? There was a Team Low-C RC racer for the PlayStation 1, and I went over to the booth, and I was playing it there at the Low-C booth, and Jack's like, so what do you think? I was like, man, this is awful. I'm like, a snowman chasing me, throwing snowballs? What's going on here? I don't get it.
He's like, well, I was just playing that SnowBall fight game that was going around on AOL. Remember that? You ever had somebody send you the email where there was that, there was a like a game you would play. It was like sent through email, and it was SnowBall.
Sent
If you
through.
Google it,
Huh.
yeah, they'd send you an email, and it would say, you know, to play the snowball fight.
What should I Google? AOL snowball fight?
Let's see.
Jason, you're gonna kill these people with the. Haven't you missed us, folks? You missed Jason pounding on the keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
You notice how the quality level of Jason's videos are like near perfect, and there's no sounds like that at all. But when it comes to the podcast, fuck it. All right, snowball, AOL snowball fight.
Oh, this is it right here.
Wait, this doesn't work. AOL.
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube? What did you Google?
Snowball fight 90s.
Snowball fight 90s?
I just typed 90s because that's when it came out. All right, so how do I?
Hey, this is crazy. How did I play it? What the? I never played this. I missed out on this.
I told you. You're going to be playing this now. You're going to be playing this now.
Wait, how do I play this now?
I don't know. I'm sure you'll find a way.
Wow, this looks awesome. This would have been so much fun. So, I guess... So you were playing against another user?
I don't remember how it worked. I just remember getting it in an email and being like, what the hell is this?
Snowball fight.
Yeah, like, this is like... If they probably reintroduced this and, put, a current spin on it, probably be popular. Have one of those little couple month runs where they make a few $1 billion. And you're already over there figuring it out.
I'm trying to read the comments here to see where I could... Oh, wow. Alright, here's the comments. I used to love this game. This dude says, I remember playing this when I was 4.
Damn.
Couldn't beat the first level. I remember trying to play this game in the computer lab in school before they put web blockers up. I remember playing this when I was 35. 1 or 2 rounds to get my brain awake in the morning. Wow, this is crazy. Well, thank you for this. This is your birthday present to me.
It is. You're welcome.
So this was on AOL Instant Messenger? Or
no, it was just people, they would like send a forward. You could send a forward to an email. I think it was, so that's how it would come in the email. And I want to say it would be like, oh, so-and-so sent you something, and then you would click it, and it would be this game.
Okay.
Or the whole, it was an email type of thing.
I have to look into this further.
I could see you doing well with it. What was the little basketball game we were playing for a while that I was doing pretty well, and then all of a sudden you like blew everyone out of the water?
Oh, that was on Facebook Messenger, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was pretty addicting because we were really going at it for a while on that.
Yeah, I had a good little run, and I did pretty well, and then all of a sudden, like, you came back with like 30 more than me. I'm just like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, we stopped playing then.
I'm like, you found those cheat codes.
I don't even know how to bring those up anymore. The games. Maybe they got.
It was like a link. It was like a link or something that you sent me. I could never find it other than that.
Yeah. No, those were good times. Oh, here's games. Well, interesting. Snowball fight.
Snowball, yep. There'll be people that recognize that.
Yeah.
So when was our last show?
Like 2 months ago.
Really?
Yeah, we took a summer break.
Mm.
It's too hot out to record.
Yeah, especially when we record them outside.
Yeah. A lot happened between those 2 months, but everybody knows about all that right now. I guess you guys pretty much dominated all those races you went to, right?
Every race, yeah. No, we had some ups and downs. We got the one that we wanted, the Roar Off-Road Nationals at Hobby Action.
Oh, yeah, when was that? That was just recently.
Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago.
Mayfield swept up, right?
No, it was Spencer won 2-wheel mod, TQ'd and won it. Cavallari won 4-wheel and short course. So we won three out of 4 modified classes, and we won the 2 that we wanted, which was 2-wheel and 4-wheel. And we kind of had to pull out all the stops to make that happen, and got her done. One of our probably our biggest win we've ever had tire wise.
Oh yeah.
And kind of coming to a race like that, and where Ty had been doing so well the last couple times we raced there, and it felt good to kind of finally get him. Well, not finally, but get him on that track, and got the victory done.
Sounds great. Oh, Ryan Cavallari, if you're listening, I need one of your buggy bodies. Oh, any body really. Any kind of Ryan Cavallari body would do. I need actually send me 2, because I'll keep one here at the studio, and then I'll send one out to a good listener of ours, Aaron Klein, who has a huge collection of bodies, but he does not have the Ryan Cavallari body.
Oh.
So we need one for Aaron Klein, and he's a long-time patron of the show too. So help a brother out, Ryan.
Long-time caller, first-time listener.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Nationals went really well. We were super happy, and then the guys just got off of doing the Surf City Classic at OCRC, and we took 3 out of 4 there.
Oh.
Wasn't 3 out of 4?
Wait, Surf City Classic, that was just
over the weekend.
Yeah. I'm shocked you didn't go to that.
Yeah, I went to the Stock Nationals at that track earlier in the year, and then because I usually go ahead.
That's why we took 3 out of 4 over there, because you didn't show up.
Well, no, I was at the Ruona.
Oh yeah, what the hell? I guess that doesn't work.
No.
Well, we did have requests for you to stay away from the 8-scale worlds from one of the listeners.
I saw that.
Yeah. It might be a good idea to do that, because, it
would save a lot of money for me not going.
That too. That's more money you could spend on video games.
Yeah, video games. Right. Absolutely. Yeah, so Surf City Classic, Cavallari won Stadium Truck, short course. Spencer won 4-wheel, and Mayfield actually, he was leading 2-wheel. That was just a single 10-minute main. He was leading. It was like 2 laps to go. He was coming in front of the driver's stand. Ty was in second, and Ty made a mistake, and you were like, oh, it's over. Mayfield's going to win. Almost the exact same moment, Mayfield crashes.
Oh, my God.
And it took maybe a little longer to get Mayfield going than Ty, because Ty ended up getting in the lead right there. And then just with a lap and a half to go. So we were close to sweeping. And then Matt Gonzalez won stock truck, which was cool. Matt kind of runs, he goes back and forth between mod and stock. This race he decided to run stock, and he ran well.
That's a J Concept driver?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that's way cool then.
Way cool.
Yeah, not just cool. Way cool. God damn, we've been on a hot streak here. Maybe you shouldn't do the show anymore. It sounds like you're winning when we don't record.
Yeah, when we're recording.
When you're able to concentrate on actual getting the team ready instead of recording.
Yeah, we can do some work, get stuff done, not just on the podcast all the time.
Yeah. Or at monster truck races.
I went to one of those.
You did? Like a real one?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've been to 2 this year. We went to Louisiana earlier in the year.
Well, that was the Hall of Fame, right?
No.
Oh. What the hell? I want to see that. Well, I thought that was the Bigfoot.
Give you some show notes. You know what? Actually, you're partially right there. There was a Bigfoot open house.
Yes.
And that was in June.
I'm paying attention a little bit.
But the actual event we went to was where did we go? Shit.
That was in Louisiana, you were saying.
That's correct.
That was the Bigfoot Invitational.
No.
All right, well, I'm lost.
Yeah, it's okay. So anyway, we went to North Carolina for the back to school bash, they call it.
Oh, Gravedigger Dungeon?
No, Gravedigger wasn't there, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Well, you said North Carolina. I just thought that was...
You just think Gravedigger.
Yeah. So who else is in North Carolina?
As far as like people in the world, or just trucks? Sounds like a question my mom would ask me.
Well, I thought there was a certain brand of monster truck there besides Gravedigger. You know, I thought it was a home of.
Who else is the home of?
Yeah. Who else is there? Hey, wait a minute! Isn't this where you went to tour Penske with?
That's correct.
Ah, yeah. See,
you're putting it together.
I'm getting there. You're getting there.
Yeah.
And that's Justin Doyle. So he works there.
That's correct. Yeah.
I didn't even know that until that post. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, what am I doing here? Doyle, you're a fan of the show. I've been putting out these shows for how many years now? I've been bringing all this entertainment and stuff to you. I'm not getting a tour of the factory.
Well, you have to leave the house.
Jason, well, yeah, I guess that's true. But anyway,
he can't bring the factory to you. Well, maybe he could. I don't know.
Yeah, he might be able to do that.
Place is huge.
I'm right down the road, Justin, from Jimmy Spencer's home. So, well, it's called Spencer's Junkyard, and his family owns it. It's down the road from me here.
Is that Catawissa?
No, this is in. It's near Chick Shinny. Believe it or not.
Is that where? Does Kirby live there in Chick Shinny?
This is what, yeah. This is probably Kirby's. Well, actually, Chick Shinny might be slightly larger than Tower City, but not by much. Maybe by 2 or 3 people. But
right between Tower City and Catawissa.
Yeah. Right, Catawissa, home of the Thunder Chicken.
Right next to Berwick.
There's a lot of things going on around this little shit area. You got Thunder Chicken, monster truck out of Catawissa, PA, and you got Jimmy Spencer, who grew up here.
And has a junkyard.
And has a junkyard down there where NASCAR drivers such as Tony Stewart and some other dudes, I guess, used to come down there when they were going to Poconos a race. They used to go to Spencer's junkyard and have a race in the junkyard in an oval. And
well, that would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's a shame I never got a tour of the factory, but you did. It seemed pretty cool.
Yeah, it's insane.
I used to like Justin.
Yeah, I think he used to like you as well. Yeah, it was a great time. We had a couple of us in there. Wasn't just me. He offered that tour to others, just not to you. So.
Oh, so other people too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I mean, everything you've ever heard about these kind of facilities, a lot of it comes true when you go there firsthand and you see how clean and organized and nice these places are. I mean, it's, everyone's just asking over and over again. So they work on the cars right here? Yeah.
Right here. You mean right here?
I think because it looks like, it looks like you brought it into your living room, with a tile floor. It's exactly what it looks like. I mean, it's just that kind of clean.
Yeah, it's immaculate. I saw the photos. It's crazy.
So yeah, it's kind of how you wish you had things, and or you dream about how you could have it, or those. If I won the lottery,
Yeah.
But the thing is, even if you won the lottery, I don't know if it'd be enough to have all this.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you could buy all this stuff just by winning the lottery. So, did that tour. Then we did the back to school bash monster truck thing there. It's right next to the NASCAR racetrack. They have they call it a dirt track because they run sprint cars and stuff there. But that was really cool. It was like one of the biggest tracks that they race on all year. Had a big over-under jump for the real trucks, which is really cool. And they debuted a new paint job out there, the Bigfoot guys, which is a retro paint, but it looked really nice.
Ooh.
So it was neat. Got to check in with some of the guys we know. They let me walk down onto the track prior to the event, and I kind of got to check out some of the obstacles and see how big they really are when you're down there.
Yeah, it's probably crazy down on the floor there.
Yeah, the stuff is just gigantic. So that was a good time, and then we boogied out of there and went to, we're kind of talking about this all backwards, but boogied out of there, went to the Horizon show, Fred set up. We had a lot of nice stuff on display, just great looking cars we had out there. And then I went direct from there to the Roar Nationals, which we had, like I said, it's probably our best tire win we've ever had, considering competition and what we had to do to prep for that. And then from there, came back and had some stuff around here, a couple off weeks. Thomas did Surf City. Guys here did the Super Cup. I went out there on Saturday and had a good race at Beachline. That's on the turf indoor track. So, yeah, we were really happy. I don't remember what the photo is here. We won just about every. I think we won just about every class at the Super Cup.
Oh, God damn. Well, you should at your race.
Well, you would think that makes a lot of sense, but
well, we play around with the numbers on the computer.
Well, that's funny because it's like this was in July. Again, we're doing this all backwards, but in July.
That's how we do the show, dude.
Yeah, we do it backwards. If you play it from the back to the front, it'll make more sense. So, yeah, back in July when we did the J Concepts race at Hobby Action, that's where Ty won all three classes.
Ooh.
So that's why I mentioned that getting ready for the Nationals, which was a month later, we had to do some work and get prepped up. Our drivers
soul searching.
well, we had to do more than just soul search. Man, that's hard to say. Soul search.
Soul search.
Yeah. So we had to do a little more than that, and we got ready, and we came back and had a great Nationals. So, but yeah, like I was just saying that you're kind of joking, winning your own race, but Ty dominated at our race at Hobby Action, which is embarrassing, but at the same time, it also legitimizes a lot of the races because for competition to be able to come in and compete. And win, it also shows that it's open to anybody, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we should allow them to enter.
Yeah, I don't think his dad would go for that.
Hey, it's your race. You can do what you want. It's my race. I can do what I want to.
They show up at the front. Yeah, I'd like to just sign up. Oof, I'm sorry. No, you guys aren't allowed.
Sorry, sir. You're not a member of the J Concepts team.
Sorry, sir. Park's closed. Loose up front, shit, told you.
Hit the trail of the Lonesome Pine, sir. Back to Canada you go.
But anyway, we came back, had a great race there, and then Super Cup. Like I said, Ryan Harris won 13.5 4-wheel. Lee Setzer won 2-wheel mod.
Ryan Harris, why does that sound familiar?
He's a YouTube guy. You probably watched his YouTube videos.
Oh, I did. The one with Justin Doyle's on.
That might be it, yeah. So he won 13.5 4-wheel. Lee Setzer 2 mod.
That's right, yeah.
AJ 2-wheel stock. Billy Bruce 13.5 truck, and then JR 1 4-wheel mod. And we had some guys running the independent classes that. That's a non-sponsored class, but they still, a couple of them chose, to use our bodies and stuff, which is cool. We, in our photo, we feature one of the guys that's a local there, and, he was standing by the track. I'm like, hey, jump in the photo with us. We're using our stuff. So it was pretty nice.
Welcome to the good old boys club.
Right. Network.
You're in.
And yeah, like I said,
so all these results will be in Car Action with the ads and stuff.
Yeah, that's should be out. What month are we in right now? September. Should be in the December issue.
Man,
Car Action.
That thing's like a leaflet now. I saw it at my grocery store. I'm like, this is crazy.
Leaflet.
Compared to the old days, I'm like, wow, this thing's like it's just stapled together now. It's real crazy.
Yeah, it's more of a pamphlet.
Yeah, like a pamphlet. It's crazy, man. It's almost sad too. Like when you think about it, you're like, damn, used to be so many pages. Now I think it was like I looked, it was like 60 some pages.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And back in the day it was like 200 or something, I think.
It was a great time.
It was.
And to quote some people that I talked to in the industry last year, it was much simpler time where it was very easy to market your product and get it out there for people to see.
Yeah.
Because it was Car Action. And it was easy. You had your product, you had to get it in Car Action, and that was the entry point to show off your product.
Yeah.
Now there's so many different ways with the internet and social media and videos and YouTube, and it's much more difficult to decide. And but back in those days, Car Action wasn't afraid to charge you. For a spread ad, I forget what it was, $5,000 or $6,000 a month.
Wow.
For a spread ad, I think is what it was, and you had to be pretty choosy what you wanted to put in there, right?
Yeah. I remember they used to show up at Trinity, like Steve Pond and a whole crew from Car Action to like discuss. I guess they would go in those meetings with Ernie to discuss like the ad cost and what their plan out for the year is, and that was crazy. It was like a big deal though when Car Action's coming today. Gotti, make sure you're hiding somewhere.
Yeah, it was. It is a big deal when those guys were around, because they were the entrance to get people to see your product, and they were bigwigs. They were very important to the industry.
I remember when I first saw Steve Pond, I was like, oh my god, that's Steve! I saw that guy in a magazine. It's like crazy.
Yep. Chris Cianelli.
Did I ever meet him? Yeah, I think I did.
I met him in Chicago.
Yeah, that's where I met him then. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Then he passed away. Not too long after that, unfortunately. But good guy, man. Yeah.
He was so perfect for those late '80s, early '90s
he
issues.
Was.
With the way he looked and his hair. And
his hair and his cars, and it was just it just worked.
It did.
And you're like, oh, that dude's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, Car Actions. Those were big meetings when they showed up, and plus UPS was another big meeting.
Yeah, you're always trying to get a better rate from UPS, and people give us a hard time all the time, about shipping rates. It's like, look, we don't.
Oh, they still do. Yeah, they still give it.
Yeah, it's like, hey, this is what it costs. It's crazy.
Yeah, I can't imagine what it is now. I mean, we're talking, 20 some years ago, and people were bitching. Man, what's it today to cost something? It's got to be outrageous.
There's some things that are very affordable to ship here and there, but man, you start adding a little weight and you start wanting to ship it a little faster than ground. Whew.
Oh, look out.
Yeah, they're going to get you.
Anyway.
Yeah, that was kind of our part of the good old days chat, I guess. But, yeah, I mean, I do miss the car action days and the Chicago show days. And they were intertwined. I remember meeting with car action at those events and them shooting your new products, and it was just such a big deal.
Oh, that's where you gathered to show your new products to these, to all these guys, Car Action, Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
It was it was nothing but meetings, really, for Ernie and them, But,
yeah.
We had the booth, and then you had the little office set up, and they all go in the office and discuss how much you're going to purchase of the, D3.
The new Midnight.
The Midnight and the D3.5. Actually, the Midnight motor, I take credit for naming that, by the way. So.
I remember that.
That's right.
That's a good one.
That's right.
That was probably my favorite.
Ernie will back me up on that. Oh, that was your favorite name, Midnight?
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, just
the way that, man. You're talking to the guy that approved that name. Me. I did it.
I thought it was a cool logo, and let me see here. Let me see what it looks like.
See that? The one ad I wish they would have went with. We were coming out with the new Switchblade. I forget what the hell it was. It was 2000. It was just getting ready to be the year 2000. And we're trying to come up with a slogan, and I said to Tony P, I said, what about Y2K ready? And he just didn't like it.
I could see that. Yeah, so Midnight, I guess maybe what I liked about this one is it was dark. The label was dark. The logo, the bottom of the M has this like blood dripping from it, which I don't know why that, why is Midnight and the blood dripping off the M?
Yeah, I had nothing to do with that part.
But I don't know why those relate so much, but it almost looks like they had another Midnight.
What do you mean?
Oh, there was a Midnight too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go. High power roar stock.
I can't remember what the differences were, but yeah.
Brushes, springs. Brush spring combo.
Yeah. That'd be something else.
Then there was the green machine. That thing was so ugly. I mean, the whole end bell was green, and I mean, the label was green.
Those things sold like mad.
Oh, I bet you they did.
Midnight green machines. You couldn't keep them in stock.
Yeah, there it is, green machine.
Made so much money off that stuff.
Green Machine 2. Pretty nice. Green Machine 1. Yeah, that was a real popular one. I think that it probably was even more popular than the Midnight. Remember going to the track and seeing so many of those. I remember I raced for Reedy, and it's just like I couldn't believe all these people would buy these Trinity motors. I was like, and I was running. I'm like, why do people buy these things? They're so ugly.
Because they work. Kirby hand tunes them. That's why.
Maybe. The Green Machine. What was the other one? There was a Midnight, a Green Machine. Was there another kind of like a gimmicky slot machine? Was that the original? Like of the gimmicky stock motors? Or was it? Which one came first?
Yeah, well, that
I'm thinking the slot machine.
I'm gonna
was
say
first.
slot machine. Yeah, that logo with the slot machine handle and
It's got the two handles. That's right.
yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the oldest looking one. So maybe it was slot machine,
Green
then
machine.
and then midnight, maybe something to that effect.
I got too many chair shots to the head. I can't remember, but got a few of those in the box somewhere here.
I remember Reedy's motors back in the day for stock. Man, they were pretty bad. I mean, that's why they were getting destroyed. Because I mean, not only were these slot machines these motors, Trinity motors, real gimmicky, but they were fast. That was why they sold so well. They were fast and. There's one here's one they called True Stock. No one's buying that one. Stock Star? I don't even remember that motor.
Stock Star?
Yeah. I've never seen this thing before. Reedy Stock Star.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, that was not a Trinity motor.
There was Mr. Outlaw Super Stock. I remember that one. I don't know what that was, but... Yeah, they had nothing for Trinity with the stock motors here. They didn't have the speed, they didn't have the look, there was no gimmicks. It was just like, oh, we also make a stock motor.
Yeah.
No, it's not gonna work. Here's a Rage, I remember this one. Oh, Firehawk. This is the one I remember.
Firehawk.
So ugly. This is where they tried their best to have a gimmick, I think. Fire chicken is what we called it.
Fire chicken. I love it. That would have been awesome, Dave.
We were like, what is this?
This fire chicken.
Actually, I typed that in Google instead of Hawk by accident.
I would have bought that for sure. Fire chicken.
And then they actually made a shirt, I think, that had this Firehawk logo, which...
Oh, man. The fire chicken shirt would be awesome. Come on, people. Listeners.
This is a...
Let's rally behind the name Fire Chicken.
Nice... This is actually a pretty nice looking... They had the Conquest. This has got to be the...
I remember the Conquest.
DS spec motor. That is so ugly.
Yeah.
Then this Conquest, which is okay. It's decent. Then you get to the Fire Chicken. And, I mean, the logo is so ugly. It's like they tried to make the top of the F look like a chicken. Or, no, I'm sorry. Hawk. Yeah, it was a hawk beak. The top of the F was a hawk beak. And then there was like these flame licks coming off of it. People are going to be like... I'm saving these photos too so we can attach them because people are going to be like, yes, I want to see the Fire Chicken.
Fire, yeah. What was the name of that motor? Fire what?
Firehawk.
I gotta check this out. Team Associated.
Reedy.
I never buy Associated stuff.
And
that was all Trinity. Let's see.
I was the opposite.
Oh my god, I remember this motor. Now when you see this... Yeah, well, you know. You weren't cool.
Dude, it was... Yeah.
I remember the Firehawk now. Now that you... I wonder who came up with these names.
You're like, Ernie, they just came out with a new motor.
It's called the Fire Chicken.
He just probably laughed. These guys got nothing. This is actually the 1998 product catalog. These modified motors, though, were dialed. I think they had some of the best modified motors during this time period with the Sonic stuff. They were really nice. Yeah, they had the... the Sonic, the Trisonic, and the Sonic 2. Those are great. The latest in technology and materials used by Masami Hirosaka to win the current four-wheel drive IFMAR World Championship. Best choice for off-road. Large com. Lay-down brushes. 1.4 millimeter can. M magnets. Brush vibration dampening
Ooh.
system. Torque-oriented armature laminations. Then we go to the Trisonic, used by Mike Swagger
Oh.
and Masami to win the on-road World Championship. So right here they had an off-road World Championship motor, an on-road World Championship motor, and then you go down to the regular Sonic, which I think had the best looking label. This one was really nice to have in the car. The first motor to use our large commutator lay-down brush technology used to win 2 IFMAR World titles.
Oh.
So just in these motors, we had 2 world championships there, 2 here, so that's 4, 5 world championships just with those 3 motors. You go over to Trinity, the Trinity site, it's just like there's no world championships, but all the sales.
We were the bomb.
You guys sold so many motors. It's pretty impressive. But batteries too, obviously, but man.
Dude, that motor department back then was just, I'm telling you, non-stop work. I mean, it was crazy. That's Kirby. He used to be back there. I mean, you had to pump out a lot of motors every day.
That's how it's supposed to be. I worked in the Reedy motor department.
Yeah?
I cut brushes and I soldered. I welded the, what do they call it? There's like these tabs at the top of the armature that once they get done winding it, then you have to fold the tabs in and then weld the top.
Right.
I did the welding and I cut brushes. I did that during the summer of 1995.
Oh, nice. It was the summer of 1995.
It was. Hanging out.
I'm feeling alive.
Working at Associated, making motors, building motors.
The summer of 95. Isn't that a song?
Practicing. It's the summer of 69.
Oh, that's it.
Bryan Adams. Here's a brand new fire chicken in the box. On eBay.
How much?
Oh no, it didn't go to eBay. Oh well. No. Goes to a lot of Reedy products though.
Summer of 95.
Yeah, that was a great time.
That was a great time. God damn, that was a great time.
What else happened in 95?
I live in the 90s every day of my life. Just
Do you?
No, yeah. I just want to go back to the 90s and just hang out again. Screw this.
If you could go back in time, that's what you would do.
Yep, 1990.
So 90 would be it?
Yeah. Yeah, I would start right at 1990. I'd probably... Let's see. Was it the 1990 Dirt Oval... Norca Dirt Oval Nationals at Cooper's in Virginia? Yeah, I go there. Joel Johnson was there.
Ooh.
But I would do some things a little differently to change the do things a little differently to change the future.
Okay.
But yeah, Dan, there was some. Oh man, so much fun.
Pop culture.
I sound like I sound like an old man when I talk to these kids that are in their 20s at the store or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, dude, just stay single through your 20s, bro, and just have freaking fun and party. some of these guys will be like, oh man, my girlfriend's, I'll go to the store here and the guy's like, oh, my girlfriend's giving me hell or something. I'm like, dude,
just leave.
Yeah, I'm like, how old are you? He's like, oh, I'm 22, and I'm like, dude, just who cares?
Take my advice.
Yeah, dump her and just party, man. 20s is the best time of your life, man. Anybody gets married in their 20s is a moron.
You got like half the show insulted now.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, I was at the barbershop last week and I was talking about that. And the one dude there's like, I got married when I was 25. And I was like, oh, well, sorry about that. He's like, no, it's all right. He goes, I got divorced 2 years later. I'm like, well, see? This proves my point even more.
So here we got, in 1995 history snapshot, we got, while visiting the Washington, D.C., Russian President Boris Yeltsin was found on Pennsylvania Avenue drunk in his underwear and trying to hail a cab in order to find pizza.
What?
Yeah, that was in 95.
Oh my God.
The top song was One Sweet Day by Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men.
One Sweet Day.
The big movies included Toy Story, Batman Forever, and Apollo 13.
Wow.
The price of a postage stamp was 32 cents.
Yeah.
Apple Macintosh computer was $2,099. The world population was 5,662,000,000. Is that correct? So that would be.
I don't know.
I think that's billion.
I'm not good at math.
Yeah, that's 5 billion. U.S. life expectancy male 72.5, female 78.9. 6 years longer for a woman than a man.
What gives there, man?
That means you should marry 6 years younger, right?
No, I don't advise any of that.
37 Americans were killed by tipping over a vending machine between 78 and 1995. We gotta ban vending machines, dude.
Tip it over a vending machine. I can see kicking them. I used to kick them.
The Macarena is a Spanish dance song by Los Del Rio that was a genuine hit through 97.
Wow.
Probably second only to Chubby Checkers The Twist when it comes to dance hits.
Oh my God.
World Series champions, Atlanta Braves. Super Bowl champions.
Who?
49ers.
Oh.
Kirby makes an appearance. NBA champions, Houston Rockets. That's because Jordan was retired. And then the Stanley Cup champions, New Jersey Devils.
Oh, that's Kirby's other favorite team. Hockey.
Yeah, he was big in the 90s. Corey Pavin won the U.S. Golf Open. Pete Sampras, Steffi Graf won U.S. tennis.
Big names there.
Wimbledon, Pete Sampras, Steffi Graf. NCAA football, Nebraska. NCAA basketball, UCLA. Kentucky Derby, Thunder Gulch. Famous quotes from 95. Houston, we have a problem by Tom Hanks, Apollo 13. I guess that's me too. Yay, I got boxes. So, I didn't know this. So, Houston, we have a problem.
Right.
That was the movie quote. Well, the actual quote was, Houston, we've had a problem here. So they changed the quote to make it more, I guess, simple, memorable.
Oh. Wow. Jeez. A little robbed.
Yeah, I thought that was an actual quote. Oh well. So, another famous quote, no soup for you.
Oh my God.
From Seinfeld.
Yeah.
How about this one? Famous quote. If it doesn't fit, you must quit. Yep.
I was glued to that trial.
I know, we've talked about that several times. It was so, me and my sister, every day, we were glued to it. I don't know why it was such a big thing, but it was.
I think it was like one of the first times they showed the courtroom on TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was pretty like brand new.
It was high profile.
Yeah.
They showed you the chase. You just were hooked, line and sinker into that storyline.
Well, I don't know if it was a storyline, but
It was a total story. It was a soap opera.
I don't know if it was scripted there. Oh, Jason, what are you opening up there? A brand new product coming in?
No, this is some of our some items I ordered for a project we were working on for the Vintage Nationals.
What? Hey, when is the Vintage Nat? That's coming up, right?
It's like 2 weeks away, yeah.
Is Eric Reichert still running that?
As far as I know.
And that's up at the RC Madness, right?
No, it's at RC Excitement.
RC Excitement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought it was RC Madness. Good deal. I forgot all about the Vintage National. Sorry, Reichert.
Yeah, he usually likes to come on the show and pump it up, but
yeah, he gave up on the show.
He gave up on you and the show.
After we dissed him for like 2 years, he's just like, screw those guys. What are you gonna do? You come on and talk about the same thing over and it's like, I'll promote it for you, bro. All 5 of our listeners will go out there, and maybe they'll go out there to that Vintage Night.
All 5.
Yeah, I think we're down to 5 now. Had a few deaths.
Yeah. 11 deaths.
Yeah.
11.
My aunt passed away. She was a listener.
It was at 11 for quite a while there.
Yeah.
I mean, we lost like half of our people.
Oh, we lost Reichert.
I don't know why this is so funny. Maybe I'm getting another box here. Yeah, I'm really pumped up. It's almost fun to get something in the mail, isn't it? Or shipping UPS.
Well, yeah, it depends. I was gonna say it depends what it is that you're getting in the mail.
Well, yeah, like here's I got one of these in the mail. Report to Lake County's clerk's office.
Yeah, those aren't good ones
for jury duty.
Oh yeah, I always get out of those.
What do you do?
I just tell them I'm not gonna be around.
Well, I've tried that.
It worked for me. I don't know. I just told them, hey, I'll be away at that time, so got me a pass. I think 3 times I got out of jury duty already. One time I just said I had to take care of my elderly grandmother.
Which is true.
Yep. Yeah.
I think I got out of it as long as I could, and now they're just intent on.
They're like, all right, buddy.
Yeah, they're gonna show me who boss is now.
Let's get in here.
Mm-hmm.
Once they find out you're a Jordan fan, they'll let you go.
That's true. That's why I kind of thought to wear a shirt or something.
Yeah. Well, if anybody asks about me, you don't know me.
That's my standard answer.
Yes. Gotta keep hiding.
Don't know him.
I changed my name multiple times and got caught. Every time. No.
Okay, let's see here. Yeah, so anyway, 1995, that was a good year.
Yeah, let's go through them all now. Let's start out. Let's see.
We're going to start with questions?
96. Anyway, the 90s just ruled, and if you didn't live through the 90s, then missed out.
Do you think everybody feels that way about the time period they grow up in, or whatever the case may be?
I don't think so, no. Because I've run into a few people who are like, oh, really? You liked high school, man? I hated it. I'm like, are you kidding me? It was so much freaking fun. It was unbelievable. I loved it.
Really? I hated high school.
Loved it. Perfect attendance right up until my senior year. Couldn't wait to go to school, just hang out with friends.
Really?
I never caused any trouble. I just,
just liked being there.
Didn't put a real effort into it, other than I just was.
You're like, I was there, of course.
Yeah. I was good. You can ask the teachers. I was, perfect, but just didn't apply myself. And boy, does it show. All right.
Wowzers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, what are you gonna do? I'm being honest.
Yeah, I hear you.
I wouldn't change a thing, man. I'd go back and still have the same amount of fun and put just as much effort as I did back then into studying.
Which was very little. Right?
I just want to, dude.
Hey, I did the exact same thing.
Seriously, around that time in high school, I was nothing but RC, man. I just wanted to race. I wanted to get my car ready for the weekend.
Yep, that's all I did.
Yep. And I had dreams of just working for somebody in RC. That was it. I didn't care. Whatever those other guys were doing, I didn't give a shit. All right, going to college, whatever. All right, what was I looking up on Google? I was looking up something. We were talking about the 90s, and
you were Googling?
Yeah, I was Googling something. I was going to look something up for you.
You're going to check on our questions?
Yeah, oddly enough, they're like all video game related. I don't think we have one question for you.
Yeah, I mean,
so I'm like, hey, if you got anything RC related, ask Jason, and then
everyone's just like, nah, I want to talk about the other stuff.
Well, that was Jake Ingstrom that asked if you're going to stay home during the A-Scale Worlds and not jinx anyone. And I responded, God, I hope so.
I am going to go. I'm going to go to the Worlds.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
So you know who to blame if that don't turn out well.
I know.
I'm surprised Mayfield's going to let you go. Justin Doyle. You've heard of this guy. You've heard of him?
Coming in strong.
Has Jason ever considered a test track at JC headquarters?
I saw that. I did see that question come in.
Did we answer this at one time?
No, we have talked a little bit about it, but I think I would love to have a track, but the problem is I don't think that it would ever really do you any good for testing because every track you go to is different.
Yeah.
So I think what you would end up doing is spending more time working on the track to get it ready to do something, and then you would only be testing on that same track over and over again. So it's like, say I went to Mayfield or somebody and said, well, at our track, this was way better than this. And he would just be like, well, so?
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
This is a different track.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care what you found at home. It doesn't work over here.
Right. And that's what you have these team drivers for. You send them shit to try, and they report it back to you.
Yeah, and, a lot of experience plays into the role here. But I think there's nothing like actually bringing what you want to test to the track you want to test it at and run it during race conditions. There's just nothing like it. That's the only way to do it. It's the only way we've always done it. If we want to test something, we go right to that location and we prep the track the way we think it's going to be prepped, and that's how we run it. And it costs you money to do it that way, but it's the only way to do it. Especially if you have to travel there, any of those type of things.
Yeah.
But it really is truly the only way to do it. And usually the best time to test anything is after a big race. And if you want to test like Monday, Tuesday after the big race, because then you get the big race condition the day afterwards. That's why you see so many guys that are teams or everybody. I mean, that's what we did in the 90s. I mean, they still do it today. People think they're being so cool when they stay on Monday after the race. You're like, dude, we've been doing this since 1991. But yeah, that's why people do it, is they they want to stay right after the race because the track got a chance to mature, kind of do its thing, and then you can usually test in those conditions, and that's when you want to know how your stuff's working. If you go out and test when the track is like brand new or super green, it only gets you so far. That's why you go to some of these races where you see locals really fast, because especially if it's an indoor track, because they dial into that track over and over again. The conditions are the same, the track is the same, and then they get quick. But if you change the layout on them and you start with a fresh surface, you usually throw them off quite a bit. But then you'll notice right when the track stabilizes, then they get fast again. And then they're usually, you have to reckon with them. But usually, when you can throw these guys off by putting in a fresh track, and those are the locals. The people that travel in are just like, oh, so this is how it is? All right, I'll just start running. And they get dialed in, and then and what it is what it is, and then nothing really changes for them until the track starts changing. Then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I didn't know it changes. And then the locals are like, oh yeah, this is how we like it.
Man.
So I would love to have my own track, but I would honestly, what I would like to have my own track for would just be my own running. Just something that was prepped nice that I could go drive whenever I wanted to drive, and just to have fun with RC, really. Of course, if you can make a carpet or AstroTurf, and you could test for carpet or AstroTurf, but that's not my favorite kind of racing, so I probably wouldn't do that intentionally. And I mean, when I was a kid, I had my own track in my backyard, and it was so hard to keep that thing maintained. Because at the time, I had my local track in Orlando was closed down, and the track in Tampa was closed down. They were like rebuilding or changing something. So it was the summer, and I was like, well, I'm just going to build my own track, and I'd go out there and work on that thing, and prep it, work on the jumps, and water it, and get it. Oh yeah, I'd get it ready, and then I'd go practice and trash my car.
Huh.
And then I'd go back in, work on my car, get it ready to go again. And then by the time that happens, you're in Florida, so it rains and your track is junk again. and then you have to repeat the whole thing over again. It's like, all right, if I want to run tomorrow, I got to work on the whole track again and get it ready. I remember I had kind of like a cool layout. I think Paul came one time when I had my backyard track, and he ran a little bit, but wow. He was never big on driving on sort of like I don't know what you want to call it, a backyard track. Like, he was more of like it
had to be perfectly groomed.
I want this to be a better track than this. I was a little bit more of a basher. I was like, this is good enough, I'll run. He's just like,
He's like, oh, God.
It's like, man, this stuff's going to get all dirty. That's how I'd be today. If somebody asked me to come around, I'd be like, oh, really? How are you prepping the track?
Oh, boy. Yeah, so different.
Prima donnas.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's been good going through all that. But, yeah, having your own track would be great. Test track, I think, is a lot of work. The only test track I think that really makes sense to build for a manufacturer is a carpet or turf track.
Yeah.
Then I think you can repeat things over and over again, and you can really do a lot of testing there. But if you really are, if you're trying to do dirt, you're going to dial into that one dirt, and that's pretty much it. I think it's cheaper in the long run to just go wherever you want to go to test. You gear up for that test. You make the track the way you want it. You get what you want to know. And when you're done, you're done. It costs you, some, but, it's only, very small in comparison to what it costs to have your own track and maintain it.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like it. It sounds like it'd be cool to have your own track at the factory, but really.
I don't. Losey's never had one back in their heyday. Associated's never had one.
Yeah. Trinity never did.
But they've also they also were near really nice tracks.
Yeah.
So it was for them. I guess you could say for Losi they did have their own track. It was called the Ranch Pit Shop, but it wasn't on the property of the factory.
Right. Absolutely.
So they had to go there, and it was almost like they ran it as a separate entity anyway. So it was almost like going to someone else's track.
Trinity had English Town.
And to bring up something we said earlier, you win somebody else's race, or you win on someone else's track. Well, I remember Associated used to do so well at Losi's track.
Oh man,
they used to kill them there when we used to go. In that 90s time period, 93, 94,
yeah,
95,
those were
96.
wars.
We used to dominate there at the ranch. And the race that they won was the Worlds with Kinwald. That was the only one that they really won in those days when we were battling there.
That's amazing.
And that was great. I mean, that he won that race. That was probably their best win of all time, I would assume, being on their track, and the fact that they never really did all that great there to begin with. And
their first world title, right?
Yeah, and their first world title. I mean, that has to be pretty memorable for Junior and those guys.
Damn. Does J Concepts has his own version of Area 51?
Not really. We have areas that we don't really want people to go into when they're here or they're visiting. If people schedule with me and they want to come, visit us, I usually let them come through, but we'll cleaned up a little bit so we don't
certain areas closed off.
Or we'll clean up a little bit so anything we don't want them to see is not around.
Clearing the web browser history.
Sometimes. Not at work. Not actually. I'm not really a
quick.
I'm not really a big web browse history concerner. I don't even know how you say that.
You got to set up a little area that is just pretend. So when people come, they're like, "Oh, you can't go over there, man. We got top secret stuff going on." And you should have a green glow coming from it or something, and some fog.
Mm-hmm. That whole area, if I remember correctly, because they've moved it since. Really, what all that means is they have an area where they have their engineers.
Yeah, it's an R&D department.
Yeah, so they have a department where they have their engineers in there, and they just don't allow the general public to walk through their engineering department. It's not like it's not like a chemistry or some type of Frankenstein lab or something in there, but it's computers and offices and cubicles, and there's 3D printed cars laying around probably, and new cars you've never seen before, but that's why I don't let you in there, because they don't want people to see stuff that you're not supposed to see. And,
absolutely.
The whole idea I think there's a little bit of a misconception. There's two reasons why people don't want you to see new things. The first reason, which has always been from Associated and drilled into me from Cliff Lett, is the minute you tell somebody you have a new car, the old ones don't sell anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can't just go around telling everybody that you have all these things in development, because everybody will say, well, I'm just going to wait for that. When in reality, they don't know when it's going to come out. So, I see people on the internet, they should just tell us that this stuff is coming. It's like, it's like you can't, because, it's like it's their product. They have the ability to work on it and improve it, and they don't have to tell you when the new one's going to come out.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're ready, they'll let you know. But before that, you have to take a risk like anybody else and buy something. I think. And in reality, So then the other reason is, technology. You don't want somebody to see something, a little trick. Now today with people with their phones and photos, and you walk through somewhere and you snap a photo of something and it gets back to your competitor, and all of a sudden you guys are releasing the same little hop up or same little part, within a few days of each other. That stuff hurts because somebody sat there and changed something and designed it, and then all of a sudden somebody sees it and they tell somebody else, and it goes back and forth. Losi's going to feel the same way, and these other companies are all going to feel similar. Seems like X-Ray is the one that kind of brags the most on social media. Like you'll have Hootie and the guys they'll show a picture of a mold or a prototype and says, something's coming soon. They're the ones that seem to not care as much about that because they're proud that they made it, and he wants to show it, and even if it's a prototype, and which I think people like, but at the same time, I think they're also, X-Ray, they release a new vehicle every year regardless. So, there's already a 2019 two-wheel drive buggy coming out. And, we're just getting into September. They've already released information about a 2019.
Oh.
So it's like, end of last year you got the 18, and it's already September, and you're already talking about getting 19. So they're pretty quick about wanting to turn around the numbers. We've talked about this before, though. Naming strategies of the cars versus the year model strategy. And
yeah. We sure did.
Strategies and initiatives.
Ooh.
We'll talk about those in their meetings. When you have meetings with big companies.
When you're in meetings.
I don't know if that was in the initiative previously or not.
You throw that word around a lot, initiative?
No.
All you gotta do in those meetings is just say, it's all about finding the right balance.
What's funny is you can say that a lot. You really can.
That's all I used to say in the meetings with Ernie. It's all about finding the right balance.
What do you think, Gotti? Well, I've been thinking about that a lot, and it really is just about finding the right balance.
God damn, you're right, Gotti.
Now we know why we have you on payroll.
We gotta find the balance.
What's funny is there's a lot of truth to a lot of that.
I miss those Monday morning meetings with Ernie. Monday morning, come storming in all mad. Especially if we lost that weekend somewhere. Oh my god.
Was it brutal?
Oh, it was brutal. Yeah. Kirby never experienced that because he never lost when he went somewhere to race. So.
Well, when you race and you only turn one direction, it's a lot easier.
Ouch. Ouch.
That was the Scott Hughes.
What?
Scott Hughes always said.
What'd he say?
About oval. It's like, when you're traveling to a race, you never have to wonder what the layout's going to look like.
I guess he's right on that. But back then there was a lot of strategy involved.
There still is.
And Kirby was the master of that. All right. What was the other question here? Oh, I guess we ran out of RC questions. Did Gotti ever beat Ghouls and Goblins? I have not. Did you ever play that back in the day? Ghouls and Goblins? No, Jason has not. He didn't play video games much. When you dunk on double dribble, is there a way to choose which slow-mo close-up you're going to get? Dan Europe. Not that I'm aware of. If there is, I was never aware of that, and that would have been pretty damn cool to be able to go up for a dunk and then hit a certain button to do a certain dunk. Double Dribble. We had a Double Dribble tournament in my neighborhood when that game was out. And we had a lot of participants in that, and it was almost an all-day event.
Double Dribble.
And it came down to a good friend of mine and me. And at the end, we were no longer good friends. Justin Doyle has another question here. What is your early... Oh, here we go, Jason. This might be... you might be able to answer this, too. What is your earliest memory of your first video game you rented? Mine was Tubin, which I did rent Tubin. It was not one of my first, but Tubin was a lot of fun.
You know what I remember? Paperboy.
Paperboy. Is that the first one you rented, you think?
It had to be one of the first. Because I had, bought a few games.
Yeah.
Like, did it come with Mario? Or did you have to buy Mario?
I think it depends on what, I don't remember. I thought it depended on what system you got, like what package. Because one of them came with Rob and some other game, and I don't remember mine coming with Mario.
Yeah, I had that. You got the Duck Hunt and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember. I want to say renting like Paperboy.
Renting Paperboy. I rented Gotcha as a paintball game.
Well, I think I remember that.
Yeah, that was my first one.
Damn, Gotcha. I remember that.
I was like, oh, I gotta play this game. It's gonna be so awesome. It's paintball.
Gotcha. That was a movie too, wasn't it? Gotcha.
That I don't know.
I think in the 80s.
Not big into movies. You know me and movies. Fast forward through them.
Yeah, this is a movie.
Oh, Gotcha?
1985.
Wow.
They probably had some kind of lawsuit over this deal.
Have to check that out. It's gotta be on YouTube.
It's an action comedy starring Anthony Edwards and Linda Foriento. Whatever. It's the same guy that directed Revenge of the Nerds did this movie. It's kind of a cool, like, cover. Like what would be like the banner or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I remember seeing this. It was an okay movie.
So there you are, Justin Doyle. I rented Gotcha and Jason rented Paperboy. Did you play Paperboy in the arcade where you had to hold the bike handles and...
I don't think so.
No.
That seemed like a pretty big commitment.
Did you just go to the arcade, like, in the mall and just stay there for hours? That's what I did.
I don't remember.
Like in the 80s, you know what I mean?
The arcade was a lot further away for us.
Was it?
Yeah, so like I never really got to go there unless we were going there for a movie because it was at the mall. So if we went to see a movie, like I could go in the game room for a while. But I know Paul said that it would see where he lived was a lot closer to this mall, so he would go there and play. And I'll tell his story for him. When he was going there a lot, he said that he was playing a guy. They're playing not Mortal Kombat. What was the fight game before that? Street Fighter.
I mean, it could have been, yeah.
I think Street Fighter. And he said this guy he'd go there all the time, and a bunch of quarters, and this guy would just beat his ass. Every time he was there, he said this guy was there every single time playing Street Fighter, and this guy would just kick his ass every single time. So he said he practiced more. He just went there even more, just got better and better at Street Fighter, and finally he went there, just beats this guy's ass finally. And he said he'd never seen the guy ever again.
Oh my God! I wonder what happened to him.
I don't know. He said he kicked his ass at one time. Finally got him, And he said he never saw the guy ever again.
Wow.
He's just like, this guy's got me. This guy's got me.
All right, Jason, I need to give away 2 items since we missed 2 months of podcasting. And the patrons over at patreon.com/radioimpound are getting ready to throw lawsuits against me if I don't get these prizes out. So what we're gonna do, you listeners, just gotta trust me on this. I got your names in the random name, the ninja name picker or whatever you want to call it.
Generator.
I got all the names in here, and we're going to hit one of these. I'm gonna give away 2 prizes. The one prize I have is because I got some vintage stuff here. Because I have a body here that is, I sent the photo over to you, and I'm like, who the hell's body is this, Jason? I can't read the writing. I don't know whose it is. Don't recognize the paint job, and you said it was
Tanner Denny.
Tanner Denny's from when he was with Associated.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's over at Team Losi, as I like to call him.
Yep.
I don't think Tanner will mind that we give away the Associated body.
Nope, absolutely not.
You will have a vintage Tanner Denny body. And that goes to, let's roll this button here.
James Hetfield.
It goes to Jason Ruona.
Yes.
You don't have to ship that too far. Yes. Jason Minich. You're the winner of the Tanner Denny vintage autograph body.
Nice.
And then Jason has something to give away too. Have you come up with something to give away at the factory there?
I got a lot of stuff.
I got a lot of Ryan Mayfield stuff too. Like remember you sent me a bunch of those bodies from the warehouse?
Mm-hmm.
That's vintage because I think that was Losi stuff, right?
Could be. There was one we did was an Associated once.
Yeah.
Yeah, give away some of those.
Some of those? You know how much it costs to ship this stuff out?
Yeah, I know I shipped it to you.
All right. I don't know what to give away.
First, give away the Mayfield body, and then let's pick another person after that. We'll do 3 giveaways.
3 giveaways? Okay. So yeah. I'm giving away a Mayfield vintage Losi body here?
Yep.
All right. Truck body. I think there's a lot of truck bodies there.
Are you putting it in the generator?
The name's already in there. I just had to make sure I removed Jason Minich. Can't have him winning again. It'd be an uproar. Fans would be very pissed. Woody Garwood.
All right.
Woody Garwood.
Yeah, I know him. He's great.
Great guy. Woody has been here since day 1. Day 1.
Yeah, great guy. That'll be a good gift.
Yeah, you can hang that up and put it with your collection there.
And then one more.
All right, one more. What am I giving away there? Something from the factory there?
Yeah, I'm going to give away some race run tires from the Roar Off-Road Nationals.
Oh.
And there will be something else with it too.
Oh, so this is going to one person.
Yep.
One patron over at patreon.com/radioimpound. Go over there now, sign up, and you too can win prizes.
Cannolis.
Yeah, cannolis.
Put some cannolis in the tip jar.
And I do have your names in here multiple times for the different tier levels, so don't freak out on me, guys. I got you covered.
That's right.
I got you covered. All right, and the next name is Scott Marinick, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Scott Marinick, congratulations. You will be receiving a race prize from Jason Ruona and the crew over there at jconcepts.net. Go show them some love. Buy a bunch of stuff. Scott Marinick. You know Scott?
The name actually does sound familiar.
All right. Supported the show. Thank you very much. Thanks for everybody sticking by us. Putting up with our summer break. Got a lot of emails here, Jason. I'm looking through them right now. A lot of pissed off people.
You haven't answered them yet?
I just ignored him.
Oh, okay.
I marked him unread. Just let them go.
Oh.
You know, there's an interesting feature in my fantasy football chat on Yahoo.com.
Okay.
You can send a message. So, in other words, if me and you were in there and I send you something and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't want to send that to him, I could just take it back, and you'll never see it. It's just, why? That's the coolest feature in the world. Like, why isn't that around on everything, like Texas and everything?
Yeah, but once they see it, it's too late, right? Obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Like
So,
it shows if he's seen it or not. Like, you know, on our Facebook Messenger and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So if he didn't see it, I could
Then you
delete
can
that message and
retract.
I'll never see it.
You can retract.
Retract. Yep. It's crazy. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool.
It's a nice feature.
I think that's all we got. That was episode 179. Jason's busy. He's got to get back to work. Allison's fuming over there. She's sending me text messages saying, you know, let's go, guys. Hurry it up.
It's like, hurry up.
Yeah. And you're getting ready to go to the Turf Nationals.
Yeah, we're leaving tomorrow morning. Thomas and I.
Thomas, yep.
And then Spencer's going to meet us over there.
Oh.
And we got Alex K also going to be meeting us.
That's in his home turf, right?
Yeah, home turf.
Get it? Turf?
Yeah, he's a comedian. And So yeah, it's going to be a great race. Looking forward to it. The weather's looking good right now.
Yeah, it's going to be really hot. Well, actually, no, I think it's going to cool off by the weekend.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's been high 90s here, and humidity's been unreal. And but I think by Friday, it's supposed to get down to almost like 75, 80. So I think it's going to be pretty good.
Excellent.
Yeah. Hey, how many turf tracks are there on the East Coast now? You got RC Madness with one.
I can't really count them all, but I know
that many? You got a few down there in Florida?
One here in Florida, but most people tell me almost every track in the Northeast is carpet or AstroTurf now. There's only like one. There's only like one dirt track left.
One?
One dirt indoor track, as far as
okay.
Yeah, one dirt indoor track. I think there's actually more than that, but
LCRC is still dirt.
Well, but that's, I was referring to indoor.
Oh, okay. Well, this one up here in RC Madness is outdoor, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So we got that one. We got there's
a lot.
WFO Raceway.
He's coming.
Dude, he went all turf. That track looks amazing.
He's coming to our race.
Oh, he is going up there, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Thomas and I.
He already said that he's taking me down in the 40-plus class.
Yikes. What's he mean by that?
He said he's going to destroy me on the track.
Well, I wouldn't doubt that. Hey, speaking of that, crashing all the time and stuff, like I did back then. I see Traxxas has a freaking truck coming out that flips itself over or something.
Yeah, and that's not
what.
That's not new. They've had that feature.
Well, no, I think Tyco's done it.
Well, no, they've had that feature on many of their cars the last several years.
Oh, so what's like an arm come out and then just flip?
No. That would be the '80s version.
Yeah, that's what I thought it meant, because it said self-righting.
What it does is it just goes full throttle, forward, backward, forward, backward, forward, backward, until the thing flips back on its wheels. And
that's what us hacks did when we landed on our lids. The hacks with reverse. So it's going to sit there and just, till it catches and then flips over.
Yep.
Okay. That's not
it's not as trick as it sounds.
Yeah, I thought an arm came out instead. It flipped it over. I am gonna write you back on.
I just picture like RoboCop.
Yeah.
Like RoboCop comes out of nowhere and flips your car over for you.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I read this thing on Live RC. I was just I just briefly read it. I get bored quickly. I didn't read the whole article, but I was like, It must have an extended arm.
Gotti's like, I'd buy that for $1.
Hold on, I will right this ship. Because they have that little speaker that makes noises that sound like a nitro truck. I could see like a little robotic
It
sound.
could start talking. So funny.
Oh no. Don't worry, I got you.
Oh,
Self-righted.
Trademark, copyright, Traxxas, RoboCop.
Traxxas here to the rescue.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy. Well, I just had to ask you about that. That's one piece of news I saw.
What a piece of news.
Yeah, what a piece of news. Okay. So Turf Nationals, Jason would be there signing autographs, 8x10s, handing them out for a price, of course. And then after Turf Nationals, Vintage Nationals. Are you going to that?
No, but we're working with a guy that's gonna debut a vintage build that we're working on together.
Oh, okay.
So we actually are going to have a vehicle there that we worked on with Jason Santos, guy that runs a lot of vintage, does a lot of vintage online, and we've been working on a project together, and it's going to debut at the Vintage Nats. So we've made some custom parts for this. He's done some anodizing. We did some paint jobs, some decals, tires. We got a really we put together a really nice. Well, it should be a really nice looking ride.
I am the J Concepts Vintage BJ for
Flip me over. Well, actually, it doesn't say to flip me over. It automatically flips you over.
Self-writing in progress. Traxxas, I tell you.
They got some nice stuff. That's what you were reading. What you were reading was the Traxxas Rustler 4x4 is coming out.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yep.
And that's a feature on a lot of their new vehicles. So.
God damn, that's wild.
Yeah, people are. That was obviously a complaint. When I get so far away from my car and I crash, I have to go all the way over there and get it.
Oh, okay. So right. So when you're out there just running around yourself and this happens, you could.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. It goes into a tizzy until it flips over.
Right. Well, that's interesting. They're very innovative over there at Traxxas.
They got some nice stuff. Really nice stuff.
God damn. Yes, we do. TeamTraxxas.com.
The team to watch.
Yeah, that's right. The team to watch.
Now they are the fastest name in radio control. That's their tagline.
Oh, is that what that is now? Fastest name in radio control?
Mm-hmm.
Because they do, boats and everything, so they're fastest in everything. Pretty much, probably.
Well, I don't think they have to actually be the fastest to claim that as their tagline, but that is their tagline.
Maybe kids like it. They get some,
Where Associated's is fast. No.
Wait, fastest at the Worlds.
No. It's theirs is World Champion RC cars. World Champion radio control cars.
How many are they up to now? Like 30 something, 40.
Good question.
God, it's crazy. I bring the hard-hitting questions.
Multimedia. I gotta figure out where this is at. It's gonna be somewhere here.
Yeah, it's alright. Who cares? I was just wondering.
Now I want to know. I want to say Reedy was like 27 or something like that. It.
Remember the old couple that used to
I don't
race
even know.
Traxxas only?
Yeah, the McMillans.
That's it. That's the name. I see them on the 96 Nats on the YouTubes there.
Really?
Yeah, they were there.
They don't. They're commenting now.
Oh no, I'm just saying I saw them in the video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they can't be alive now, can they be? I mean,
That's what I was wondering.
Oh jeez.
I was like, they were old when in 1995. They were.
Yeah,
old.
they were really old then. They were featured in RC Car Action. I think they did
Mm-hmm.
an article on them. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then you see them at the 96 Nats, you're like, oh wow, that's. See, I worked 96 Nats into this episode 179.
Yeah, it's unbelievable
Never ends.
how you can get that
Deal
in
with
there.
it, people.
I gotta find out this World Championships before we sign off too.
That's not that important. I was just wondering.
Well, it's gonna bother me now.
I'm sure they have it on the shirts now and stuff, right?
Not all the time. And this is kind of difficult to say, but it used to be a much bigger deal to claim you were a world champion manufacturer.
Right.
It's difficult to say that, but it's true. And a lot of it comes down to everybody moves on so quickly now.
Mm-hmm.
And then also there being world championship events out there that just, to me, don't matter at all. Like they just had one in South Africa for 12 scale. And now the guy that won, certainly is a great driver, but the race had like 17 entries or 20 entries or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just, and none of like the hot shoes were running. Like we'll call them the hot shoes. The guy that won was obviously very talented and good, but if everybody would have ran, he wouldn't have won.
Oh.
And then in touring car, probably the best two asphalt drivers were running, which was Bruno Coelho and then Ronald Volker. Volker TQ'd, Bruno won, but the Infinity team didn't go, and some others, and it just loses. It just has lost so much over the years. It used to be such a big deal to win the Worlds, like we talked about earlier with Losi winning their first. I mean, it was just huge.
Yeah. And
now it's just like, oh, you won the Worlds, cool. And like a week later, it's like, all right, no big deal. It's like I'm going to Associated's website and trying to find, how many world. Oh, here we go. Boom. Yeah, 28 for Associated.
Oh, 28. Okay. Yeah.
28.
All right. There you
go. It's tough because this really should mean so much that you were able to win all these worlds, be on top of the game, but in today's day, it means much less, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Like, how the hell? Like, why did that happen? What changed?
Well, the frequency of being more events, and then adding classes that to me don't deserve to be world championship level classes, and then worlds where not everybody participates. Mm-hmm. That's why it doesn't mean as much. So when you have too many of something, and you have some that don't matter because not everybody's there, and then you have some that just don't belong being world championship classes, then it kind of dilutes the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it makes it kind of rough. I mean, they had a 13.5 12 scale demo class at the Worlds, and X-Ray's claiming that as a world title.
Oh.
They're like, yeah, we went to, they called it a demo class, and
demolition.
And they're claiming it as a title. Then they had a Formula One demo, and they're claiming that as a title too. When they shouldn't even had 12 scale to begin with. They should have cut 12 scale from the Worlds a long time ago. The only ones that matter, we'll just start with that. Here's the only world titles that matter: 2-wheel drive buggy, 4-wheel drive buggy, 1/8 scale buggy, and touring car, and 1/8 scale on road. There's only 5 of them that actually count, in my opinion. The 12 scale doesn't count anymore. This 200 millimeter BS on road, that doesn't count. And there's some 5th scale, like, not the 5th scale like we've been joking about. It's like the most like ugly looking 5th scale cars you've ever seen. They have a worlds for that.
Oh boy.
It gets 13 entries.
Jesus. Yeah, they got to do something about this.
I agree.
That's IFMAR, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's going on over there, man? Jeez, come on, guys.
I don't know.
That's a whole nother show.
It's a whole nother show.
But there is ways to correct it. Just like Jason said.
Yeah, I mean, they could cut out some of these that just don't matter.
No.
I mean, you can't go to South Africa and have a class that has 20 entries, and then you have a secondary version of the same thing, 13, 5, 12 scale. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah. God.
Like I said, the only ones that count: 2-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, 1/8 scale off-road buggy, touring car, and 1/8 scale on-road. There's only 5 that count.
I would agree with that list.
And obviously 12 scale mattered many years ago.
Sure. Back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. But there was a cutoff on that to the point where it was just like, okay, this is just no longer, the tops. The other thing is, if you're not, I went one day and I'm like, all right, 200 millimeter on-road car.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even buy one on A-Main Hobbies. So it's like they have a worlds for stuff that you can't even buy on the biggest online, It's like you might be able to buy a body. That's all you can get really is a body.
Oh my God. I mean, the whole purpose is win the world, sell your product, and
Exactly. That was the whole point before. That's why it was such a big deal. That's why it was hard fought. That's why it was contested. People make prototype stuff because you were battling for that name recognition that turned into sales. And it's like when you're having this stuff and it's like it doesn't even whatever.
Yeah. Episode 179. And head over to jconcepts.net. Show Jason some love. He's giving you some time here. All you gotta do is show him some love, right, Jason?
That's right.
Alright, guys. See you for episode 180. Woohoo! Milestone.
Big numbers.
Getting there.